welcome back. Episode 2.
Coffee regular.
Coffee regular. Brought to you once again by Two Roasting Joes. And today we did mocha pot, and it's delicious.
It's very balanced flavor and delicious.
Yeah. Mike's first time with the mocha pot.
Very enjoyable.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah. I was worried. I wanted him to have a kid. All right. So today's opening story is how I actually found a jiu-jitsu school. And I'd been doing a lot of internet research, listening to a lot of podcasts, watching cool videos, watching Roll, the history of jiu-jitsu in Southern California, which is amazing.
I haven't watched that in a long time.
Yeah, watch it again, man. It's so good.
Because my paradigm now is entirely different than when I watched it, last time.
Yeah, that's actually why I watched it again. It's been a few years, and it's very different now. I'm experienced with the culture, and it's some of the fantasy's gone, sadly, but you're still my fantasy, Mike. You're still hooked. Don't worry.
You're still hooked.
But I also, at the time, picked up a new magazine to read, Jiu-Jitsu magazine. And in Jiu-Jitsu magazine, they had a list of gi makers. And I found lanky fight gear, and I thought, wow, okay, gis for tall, skinny people, I have to own this. And if I buy this gi, a jiu-jitsu school will find me. Then I found a jiu-jitsu school, but it was Thursday before the Arnold, and no one was there. So I went to the Arnold, and I saw my guys at Torque. And I'm like their original customer. I love Torque. Those dudes are cool. And I went to buy my Torque stuff, and they're like, dude, we make gis now. You should buy a gi from us. I'm like, heck yeah, I will. And they're like, this is the first gi we've ever sold. So I have the Torque gi, I have the lanky gi, and a possibility of a school. And then I walk in on Tuesday, and there's Mike. And yay.
Jiu-jitsu.
Jiu-jitsu. Right? And so brings us into today's topic, which is jiu-jitsu and the internet. Because the internet is very much responsible for me in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But I want your thoughts on it, because you were around jiu-jitsu before it was a big thing. Like
the internet and I don't know. I'm young enough to kind of remember when the internet was still kicking off and stuff wasn't as pumped up as it is now. So obviously I got to see, one, the internet grow into what it is, and then two, jiu-jitsu get pushed out there like it is. So we talked about this in the past, jiu-jitsu is one of the only martial arts, if not the only martial art that has a prominent social media presence.
And not just a prominent, but a good presence.
Yeah.
In Taekwondo, most of it's crap.
Yeah.
Or it's so bogged down by rank.
Right.
And people are master.
It's bogged down by just people promoting themselves and marketing, and there's a degree of that, of course, you have to, but it's still one of the things that's people can have their own individuality with it and still kind of let it go.
Yeah. I think jiu-jitsu is best for that.
Yeah. I mean, just it lets people's personalities shine. So I've told people jiu-jitsu is their fingerprint or whatever. Same thing. Your personality starts to show through when you're rolling, when you're doing this, doing that. You should make a video. Your little quirks and nuances are going to start to come through, and that's what can make jiu-jitsu, I think, special.
I think it makes it more attractive.
Mm-hmm.
I think because it's different with other martial arts. Their rank becomes part of their personality, whereas in jiu-jitsu, I think, I got my thoughts on this, but people's personalities are their personalities, and their rank happens to be a thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's very secondary, and I don't know, personally, I think that's because it's harder to get a black belt in jiu-jitsu. It's the last of us.
Yeah.
There's no belt. There's no martial arts left that take 10 years to get a black belt.
True. Very true. And that's the thing. It's legit. You get it. You can't take that work away. But I think when you're a jiu-jitsu black belt or anything, that's one of the last things that still holds character and honor and stuff to some degree.
Real character and honor, not where in the world I came from. I'm old school. I got my black belt fast, and I got in 4 years in Taekwondo, but I lived at the gym.
Yeah.
I was there every day. I trained. I was super consistent. Yeah, referring to the last thing. And that was rare back then.
Right.
It took, 5 to 7 years still when I was a kid. And now it's 3. And I think because of it, people get cocky.
Sure.
They get all into their rank. Whereas in jiu-jitsu, you got to prove it. And it takes a long time.
You could just be having a bad day and be oh shit, is he, is he this belt?
No, and yes, I don't know if it's get beaten out of you a little bit.
I think jiu-jitsu teaches you to deal with it better than other things, I mean, what's the worst thing that happens in jiu-jitsu? You tap, you keep rolling.
Yeah.
It's the worst thing that happens in MMA. You get knocked the fuck
Fuck
out.
out.
You're done for 6 months.
Yeah.
Probably, struggling to eat. Like,
some shit's broken, and that's with you forever.
Yeah. So, like, that alone is obviously what makes it, I think, more enticing and more attractive and just more marketable, like, to people, to the more, generalized public, as opposed to, like, boxing, kickboxing, MMA, where they see it as, like, human cockfighting. You have, like, all these tournament circuits and tournament formats coming up, trying to make it as, like, spectator-friendly as possible, like, fight to win.
I love all the pro circuits.
Win Ted.
With
like,
all the different rules and stuff?
All the different rules,
I
like,
love
rule
it.
sets that are coming out that are making jiu-jitsu more, A, spectator-friendly, and B, like, what jiu-jitsu is supposed to be, like, sub-only, and pushing the pace, and, it was making it entertaining.
Yeah, I mean, definitely more, I think, fighter-friendly, too. Because training for different rule sets, I mean...
Makes you grow.
It makes you grow, and it's fun, especially if you know the rule set as you're getting into it. I'm preparing for this tournament and this thing. Cool, they do this. All right, fun, now I got to work within that.
Yeah,
context.
It keeps you fresh, too. It keeps you, like, I don't know, I get bored with stuff easily. Like, if I have to do one thing like that, and I can't change it at all, it's going to be boring as shit to me, and I'm going to get bored of it and not want to do it. So, like, different rule sets, different little quirks, different little things to look forward to in tournaments like that are really cool. Like, that just, like, favors how I like to roll and stuff.
Oh, yeah, true. I mean, I'm a fan of the sub-onlyness.
Yeah.
And just get dominant position and take your time kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or get in bad position and take your time. And
that's the thing, like, you don't have to worry if your guard gets passed. Like, you're not in a street fight, so it's whatever. That's the thing. You have to have the presence of mind to know where the situation for it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're not in a street fight where you're like, I probably should let my guard get past in a street fight yet. But if you're there, it's not as big of a deal. There's stuff from it. There's a lot of entrances into strange things from
if you take away the points.
Exactly. And people are more willing to try those things because they don't have the sacrifice or the downside of losing points or position or whatever. So
now I have to specify that I'm specifically this knowledgeable because of the internet. Because of watching all this stuff on YouTube or flow grappling or I mean, I guess John Danaher especially. When I knew about Danaher from George St. Pierre long ago, and just kind of he was like this myth.
He was coaching on season
on the Koscheck GSP season. I own it. It's amazing.
That's when he still had hair.
Yeah, when he still had hair, and he was like, I was enthralled with that guy, and so was George. He was like, no, just listen to everything he says, and I did. And then he was just like this mystery ghost. But then when he really started putting content out, when he started popping up, and the Danaher Death Squad became a thing, like that's I think why I know about all the different jiu-jitsu tournaments and types. And then when I started training with you, then I had someone to talk with about it. And then like you actually know what you're doing in jiu-jitsu, and you dropped it all. Like, okay, yeah, that's
this is what's going on. Yeah, you ask me anything, I'll try and fill in the knowledge as best as I can.
So that is I think one of the best parts about the internet. Like from my background, I know a lot of like high level legendary people as far as Taekwondo goes, but no one knows who they are,
right?
Unless they did something bad, usually. But
right. But it's not the freaking Wild West or feudal Japan where you're like looking like, oh, this is the tale of this person, this sword fighter, whomever.
I mean, I guess unless you're talking about Henzo or Hickson, but
even they're starting to.
But even they're super accessible. I know they're legends because their documentaries are on YouTube.
And there's other people talking about what's going on with it, and like other corroborations and stuff like that.
I don't know. It's the upside of advertising, I guess. Of sorts. Yeah. But you get a good storyteller and put them on video, and it's awesome.
Get someone like animated like Henzo too. Like.
Oh yeah, that guy's awesome. Yeah, he gets into it. On one gray hair, I'm fine.
I love that guy.
Yeah, he's fun.
Henzo knows.
We gotta go train with him at some point.
Oh, dude.
He's gonna be on the show.
For sure.
We're gonna go train.
Henzo, if you're listening, one day we're gonna have you on Coffee Radio.
And John Danaher as well. Like Mike put that idea in my head years ago.
Silky smooth voice.
Yeah, because he wants to just listen to me and Danaher have lunch, basically. Yeah. But
that's the thing. Like, that's the funny thing. Is like if I were to sit down with these people just like based on my personality and like maybe if I'm shy or whatever, I probably wouldn't pick their brain as much as I would want to or should. But like if I were a fly on the wall, in a conversation between like something like that, I would take away a lot more from it just by observing it. I think so.
Oh, definitely.
This dog just eating out of the garden.
What? Oh, I was like, better not be my garden.
No.
Okay, good.
He's eating some peppers, some tomatoes.
Yeah. That dog's cool, man. He's quiet.
I was going to say, he looks pretty chill.
Yeah, he's cool. We're in my backyard today. We're sitting on my patio.
It's
beautiful out.
day.
Yeah, and I've got like a backyard living room set up, so it's pretty sweet. Staring at my banana tree. My forest. It's good.
It's very nice. But yeah, like, just jiu-jitsu, it's one of those things now that's easily accessible for people. You're starting to see like the versatility with who trains it. Like lawyers, doctors, cops, whomever. Like they say like jiu-jitsu's for everybody. Like I agree. Like,
it really is. Yeah.
Jiu-jitsu. Where else are you gonna get like some like 16-year-old kid who doesn't know what he's gonna do with his life, and like some 50-year-old lawyer.
Yeah, and they're rolling together.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like they're rolling together, laughing together, having a great time. Like, what other situation would that come up in? Probably, maybe if the lawyer like got the was the kid's lawyer for him doing something stupid.
That happens in martial arts, but I feel like jiu-jitsu, at least in my experience, kills the ego. In striking, it's real easy to people get caught, hit harder, hit more. But in jiu-jitsu, because we tap and because it's fun at all sort of speeds. I hate to like go light in sparring because it bores me.
Yeah.
But I can flow roll in jiu-jitsu all day.
Oh yeah.
It's so fun. Yeah. But
yeah. I don't know, like, and then like we talked about too, just like consistent striking training, like it beats you down over time. Like at some point your morale is gonna go with it.
At some point it's just this hurts. I can't move that anymore.
Yeah, jiu-jitsu, like I don't know, it's almost like the opposite, or it's at least it's a sweet spot in terms of like it hurts, but I'm willing to do this.
Yeah, I think it has more personal control.
Yeah,
because you can tap, and because the person with you doesn't have to go all out to actually beat you. If they're good, they can take it easy.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you
toy
with me all the time, yeah. One of my biggest moments in learning jiu-jitsu was when I could tell if you went left, you were going to do this to me, and if you went right, you can do that. And you're like, actually, no, there's 4 other options, so I'm choosing that one. Damn it, I only saw 2.
There's 10 guns on the table. Which one am I going to shoot you with?
Yeah, at least I got better. I can pick 2 ways to die.
It starts with identifying it first,
Well, yeah, you gotta know what's going on. But I don't know, as far as I guess while we're on the YouTube thing, which will be on YouTube soon.
Yeah.
Or now. This puts up we'll have videos once I get my computer fixed.
Yeah. Happening.
It's gonna happen. But I mean, as far as like your favorite people to go to, like who you watching?
Like in terms of like technique vid or like what?
Anything.
Really, I mean, I love Danaher. You can't go wrong with Danaher. Obviously, like that's top of the list. Like Travis Stevens, when it comes to any type of like judo type stuff or technique wise.
Have you seen his interview on Flow Grappling?
I haven't seen too much recently. But
oh, dude, it was good. But he just anytime Travis Stevens talks about judo, he pretty much rips it.
Yeah.
Just the organization of it. Yeah. And then he's like, "But judo's awesome."
Yeah, judo itself.
Yeah.
That's so legit.
It was good.
I'm trying to think of who else I'm listening to. It hasn't been so much like jiu-jitsu people lately as it has been like like George Mumford or like Gary Vaynerchuk, people like that. It's kind of more like macro approaches to things and like
I gotcha.
Things that you can apply to jiu-jitsu and you can apply those types of jiu-jitsu things to those other types of
I've been doing that a lot too, but jiu-jitsu reignited it for me. Of that whole flow and mindset and jiu-jitsu reignited and gave me a new framework to play with that. And it sort of led to that. We were talking about Mumford's book. I gave that to you after I read it. And it's mind blowing. Yeah. And it's good stuff. But I've been applying a lot of it, but because I got really interested in it because of jiu-jitsu and because of like listening to people tell stories.
Yep.
And that kind of stuff pops up. You're like, oh, yeah, it does teach you to just kind of be okay with things.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, remain calm under pressure.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it gets smushed or worse.
You get worn out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when you die.
Yeah. And you just get slapped in the face a bunch of times.
Yeah. I know. I've always liked listening to people kind of say like jiu-jitsu can polish what you have on the inside already, and I don't know. I think it's part of it. Like, if you're a dick, you'll probably be a dick on the mats. If you're nice, you'll probably be nice on the mats. Sometimes both of those things can get you into like parts of trouble. Like,
Oh yeah.
you know, there's the blend and the balance of all of it.
There's trouble either way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Coffee is good today.
So,
Super wonderful.
what about you? Who you been listening to?
I've been listening to lately, Impact Theory, because he's pretty regular. Tom Bilyeu, love that guy.
Yeah, he's pretty legit.
Yeah, he's cool, he's fun, and his wife has a show now too, which is what's it called? I can't think of it. It comes out on Wednesdays. I was just listening to it. I've been doing that. Kind of random. Joe Rogan every once in a while
Yeah.
has some, like, if there's someone I'm interested in, I'll pop some Joe Rogan on.
I saw this hilarious video of Joe Rogan doing the alphabet and just like
Jeez.
Joe Rogan terms. Like, it was hysterical.
That's funny.
The show.
And definitely, I look for specific people. Like, anytime Travis Stevens has an interview, I listen to it. John Danaher the same way.
Marcelo.
Yeah, Marcelo. Yeah, that's
all the
my
all
guy.
The greats are legit. You can't go wrong.
And it's just fun to listen to him talk. You know, and just tell a story or explain a technique, or you know.
And a lot of them have the same chill demeanor and
They
that
do.
smile on their
Very
face.
much have the same mindset. I mean, Travis Stevens is still pretty intense. He's not old enough to be chill yet, I guess. He's not done. You
That-
can tell he's not done.
And I know judo's just more.
Judo hurts more, man.
Yeah, everything's forward. Yeah,
And it's political as hell because it's an Olympic sport, so that makes you.
I'm sure that's made a
It
impact on his.
it does. Having done Taekwondo for so long, the fact that it's an Olympic sport has pissed me off so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so yeah, but that's a different thing. Love the art, hate the politics.
I mean, jiu-jitsu has its politics,
It does, but it
has.
you can still duke it out.
Yes, exactly. Jiu-jitsu still gives. It's the most even playing field for whomever. Let's put it that way. There's no governing body that's going to be like, oh, you can't do this, or like, you can't do this. Like,
Yeah, people can still step outside the governing
Yeah.
body. IBJJF is not the end all be all.
right. People may not like it. People might give you shit for it.
Yeah.
And you'll get your own, trouble or, for it, but get your own flack. But you have the people that step out and
Yeah.
make their own different thing. Like, again, like, fight to win.
Yeah.
All those different things.
Or look
like,
at ADCC
yeah.
versus IBJJF.
Why
I think
it's still held as prestigious.
it's still the
Because
proper
it's
the
been
world championship. It's
consistently-
better.
consistently better, and it's been
The rule sets evolve to cater to winning, not on points, but by dominant and submission. And I like going back to the videos. I like the way they put their videos out on YouTube are really cool. But then also they let people have what's that one? There's a cool video of Joe Rogan and Eddie Bravo commentating on Kron Gracie.
Stuart Cooper.
It's the Stuart Cooper one. Yeah, Stuart Cooper's.
I love all
I
his
wish
hits.
he needs to bring out stuff
He
more.
needs to make movies,
He needs-
jiu-jitsu movies.
He
about,
does.
like,
Stuart Cooper's
He's
awesome.
legit.
Like he has. I don't know if he's put much out lately,
I haven't seen much, but he's
but
on point.
he really needs to have if he could do a movie as often as possible,
Yeah.
I would watch
Once
it.
a summer,
I would buy it. Like put that
100%.
on Blu-ray, and I will so buy it.
100%.
Yeah. But yeah, you don't see that with anything else. Can you think of a filmmaker that also does a martial art that then specifically travels to train in that martial art and make really cool film content? No.
That doesn't
It doesn't exist.
exist.
It's
And, that's
only in
another
jiu-jitsu.
thing
Yeah.
too. Is like jiu-jitsu has this big networking thing going on. Like, yeah, you have like your academies and your politics and stuff, but there's this other flip side to it. That's like this very open arms approach and like, come on in, do this, do that. Like,
Yeah.
it's gotten away from like the this is our academy, this is our flag flying it, you're doing this. It's like we've gotten more to the exchange of knowledge, which is awesome, which is what I wanted it to be.
Yeah, and it's cool. It's impressive that they've let it go.
Yeah.
Having grown up fighting in the 90s, we're at the peak of the Wild West days, and jiu-jitsu, because of the internet, people think of dojo storming and jiu-jitsu, but that was everybody.
Mm-hmm.
That was every martial art, fighting every other martial art. High school was fun for me, man, because dudes challenged me all the time.
Yeah.
And people would literally, I grew up in a college town, people would come into our school,
Just do that.
and we're just like, all right, you want to then you got to do sparring class. You want to fight us? If you're alive at the end when we spar, then we'll spar. And we'll fight. We'll see what happens. Yeah. Okay. And that was, I mean, it was a fun time to exist. But I like that jiu-jitsu. I don't know if other martial arts have let it go. I don't know how open people are, but they've really let it go. It's just like, no, come roll, you're fine.
Yeah, like it's gotten, again, it kind of squishes the ego, or it should anyway, or you know, and you should be willing to let someone come in, and like you should be willing to, you know, learn from someone who's not on your team or whomever. Like, why is their knowledge any less valuable or useful than
There are no
XYZ
secret
person?
techniques.
Right.
There never were. I mean, what we were talking about, videos of Kosen Judo.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the 30s, and they're doing De La Hiva guards and footlocks.
Yep.
And you were like, see, nothing's new. It's not a new invention.
It's all repeated.
Yeah.
All of it. I mean, that's the thing. Any technique or like sequence I've done or anything, like somebody somewhere has done this. This is just my discovery of it.
Yeah.
It's like when people are like, "Oh, I made up a move," I'm like, "Nah, you didn't."
You just discovered it.
You just discovered a way it works for you.
But I don't know. There's a cool book called The Legend of Bagger Vance, and it's the Bhagavad Gita played out in golf. And I've researched this a lot. I love the book. Movie's good too. Book's better. But in the Bhagavad Gita, there's a concept that, and they go through this in the book about Juna finding his perfect swing. And it's sort of a concept that everything already exists, and you just discover it. Like, everything that's going to exist and be invented is already there.
Yeah.
It just has to be discovered. And that was kind of his quest for the perfect swing, was realizing that. And then being able to, I guess let it call out to him and accept it. And then it would happen. And how do you do that repeatedly?
Yeah.
But that plays to like what you've always told me in jiu-jitsu is that nothing's new. And it's already there. And even if you didn't know it was there, you just haven't discovered it yet. Yeah. Someone may have already discovered it, but hey, it's calling out to you. You find it. It's cool. It's there.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, take it or leave it.
Yeah.
That's your choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess okay. Take it or leave it. It's your choice. As a teacher, you have your very own distinct style of how you roll.
Oh, yeah.
You definitely do what you do, but because you're a teacher, you kind of got to know everything, or at least continue to absorb everything and learn more and more. So, from from a internet video standpoint, how much do you get from watching new techniques and at least not necessarily maybe incorporating it into your game, or just maybe I know this, and if I'm training with somebody, I'll teach to people, and if someone else I'm teaching it to can pick it up and use it. Cool.
Yeah.
Like, what does it do for you?
Anymore, I mean, it's cool. Just like jiu-jitsu is cool because it allows for innovation. So, like, again, like that can tie back into the internet thing. Like, it allows for innovation, therefore you're just exposed to more different stuff. And again, like, meaning, like, you can make a technique work for you. Maybe it might not work as well for me, or I need to like fix it for my composure or stature or something. Like, there's still room for just kind of improvisation in that way.
Right.
I've been lucky enough to train. Like, that's the thing. I've consistently trained for a long time. I've never taken like massive chunks of time off. I've just always trained, and I'm lucky enough to have done my my P's and Q's and skills long enough to kind of like make it somewhat second nature, so that I can approach videos or like technique videos and be like, oh, that's interesting, and like really hopefully anyway, to like look at what they're trying to accomplish with the video.
Okay.
And then I just try and relate it to as many techniques that I'm like most comfortable with,
I guess.
already.
Okay.
So, but I've filled in tons of gaps in my own game, like going to seminars and just learning from different people and just just different like DVD series from like BJJ Fanatics, like
I got all the Travis Stevens stuff.
Yeah, like
every bit of it.
And that's a huge part of the jiu-jitsu culture now. Is like that's how a lot of the big names are like kind of making money and stuff. Is that they're putting content out and having their name on it and this and that. But then like it's rivaled by the free output stuff and content too. Like
I've been paying attention to that because I've been out for a month because I had eye surgery, and so I can't train, I can't do anything. But I've been watching videos. And I got Damian Maya's Science Jiu-Jitsu, both volumes. I just $150. I just did it.
Do you want the perfect MMA fighter in terms of like?
This is pre-MMA though. This is him as pure jiu-jitsu before he was like perfect MMA jiu-jitsu. This is just jiu-jitsu, but he's all principles. And I've just been watching it, and I'm like, but I think because it's really well done as far as the DVD goes, but it's also available.
Yeah.
Like I don't have any other. I have a few VHSs of Taekwondo. Only because I went to the dude's seminars. I've got Ireno Fargas' series, which is amazing, and I've got Jin Bang Yang, who's the guy who invented how we kick, or at least how my generation kicks. But only because I went to their seminars did I have access to these things.
Yep.
And that's it. But now because of the internet, like I said, I got all Travis Stevens stuff.
Yeah.
I got Damian Maya. I got those are my main guys.
I mean, stuff like that anymore, like that's a gem because like it's not might not necessarily be available in that detail or format or something, but
the fact that it's even available.
Yeah, I mean, jiu-jitsu's always had
and
availability.
easy to find.
Even in back in the day, they had VHS tapes and DVDs available. Like it was.
They were putting content out before anyone was.
Yes, and it was
like the legend of the Gracie Challenge fights that were out around, floating around.
And that was a way to kind of like drum it up and kind of drum up business and whatnot. And that's always what people are like looking to do and drum up business, but it keeps more people. Like jiu-jitsu keeps way more than anything else does, in my opinion.
I mean, that's also because it doesn't beat you up as bad too.
Yeah.
It's easier to stay with.
Yeah.
But is it harder on your ego? Because you get smashed. You get smashed hard. Like you get just beat up. I don't know.
I mean, you can only make it so far with your ego.
Yeah, because
being inflated.
You'll be done real fast. Yeah. Yeah. No. But once again, because it's jiu-jitsu, normally the big ego guy gets beat up real bad.
Yeah.
In jiu-jitsu, you just get basically smashed and worn out, submitted a bunch of times, but very nicely.
Yeah.
It's Roadhouse rules. Be nice. Be nice.
It's
time to not be nice.
Roadhouse.
Everything comes back to Swayze.
Yeah. He's the original black belt.
Yeah. Heck yeah. Definitely.
But yeah, like just jiu-jitsu was one of the first things that was like, oh yeah, like you can do this elsewhere, or like maybe not at a formal academy. Like yeah, they want people to come in and do it.
Okay.
Blah blah blah. Like they want people to come in and pay money. Blah blah blah. Right, but
there's still get together with your friends and still train.
So you got a litany of people getting mats, going to the park, rolling. Like that's the more like open side to it. Like
I wonder if that's a Brazilian thing. It's the only other thing I've ever done that with was when I did capoeira. We used to train in the park.
Yeah, maybe.
And we just got to the park and just played and then
do it to it.
I've
trained like Muay Thai in the park and stuff.
I've never done anything else in the park like that, or never at someo's house. Like I've definitely gone and just rolled with people. Or I invite people over all the time because I have the facilities.
Yeah.
And I got mats at home.
That's right there. Like, what other? What's the new punching bag? Everyone had a punching bag growing up, right? Yeah. Now it's like mats. Everyone has.
Yeah, now mats. Now you got mats. Yeah. Yeah.
That's like a funny cultural shift.
Yeah, it's funny. But I also have some nice punching bags too. But.
Oh yeah, you got it. If you're legit, you got everything. But
well, if you have the space and you know your local plate against sports, you're friends with those guys, then you can get just about everything and get some time.
Yeah, I have a really big like common area in my apartment. I'm not gonna get a couch. I'm gonna throw down some mats, man.
Hell yeah.
There's just no reason.
Yeah, I was just thinking about the other day that if I like, if, I wish I would have done that when I had apartments.
Yeah.
That like
no
I just
reason.
had a matted area just because.
I have my bed. I
Yeah.
sleep in my bed. Otherwise, I'm on the
Otherwise,
floor doing something.
yeah. Otherwise, like it's room, it's space to roll.
Exactly. Like do my rehab exercises. And, you know,
Yeah.
like it's a lot of working space.
Yeah.
It's a big ass spider over there
What?
in the corner.
Oh, nice.
It's a big one.
Very cool. Well, I mean, we are outside. Yeah, it's been out for Hitchcock back here, man.
Yeah.
It's not as bad as it was, but I came out here one day and my whole backyard was filled with spider webs.
Dang.
And literally, like between the swing set and the garden, there was one. I mean,
Neat.
it was. I walked right into the thing.
They're busy.
Freaked out. Yeah, they were all over the place for a little while, but they've calmed down. I don't mind the spiders. They keep the other bugs
No,
away.
yeah, spiders
They're
are
my
cool.
buddies, man. As long as I'm not
As long as they're not in my
running
bed,
into
I'm
them.
cool with them.
Yeah, not in my face.
Yeah.
Like, it's good.
It's fine if they're minding their own business.
Yeah, totally cool.
Yeah, I went to Boy Scout camp like when I was, however old I was, and yeah, just bugs, spiders crawling across your face, in your mouth, you know.
Yeah,
just
you know.
For the week, yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, like, whatever protein.
Take some care. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you just don't see, and maybe it's because it's not an Olympic sport, and I don't know if it ever will be an Olympic
Oh
sport.
God, I hope not. Oh.
I hope not, because I mean,
I mean,
it leaves more for professionalism.
that reminds me of a story. Speaking of Olympic sports, probably gonna piss some people off with this story, but I finally made this connection. Okay, so speaking of guys you get from the internet, Henry Akins. Freaking love Henry Akins, right? Henry Akins tells a story of why he got into jiu-jitsu. I think he was growing up in like Illinois, and he wanted to train. And he heard about a wrestler who beat up a kid from his high school that was an Olympian in Taekwondo. That's Juan Moreno.
Yeah.
No one's ever said this, but that was where Juan Moreno was from. And in '88, he was in the Olympics when it was a demo sport, and that's a whole fun story of how he like beat this dude that had been beaten in 10 years and got made it. It's pretty cool.
Legit.
And then got like cheated out of a gold medal. Juan was good back in the day, man. And it had to have been him.
That's nuts. That's
And
funny.
I'm like, thank you for not having takedown defense, Juan, because you gave us Henry Akins. Yes.
See, it's funny.
Uh,
And the future was born right there.
And the future was born, and then I got to find out about it because of YouTube. But
Exactly. Like how else would you have been able to make that connection? Like
never. And to be able to dig into how Henry Akins thinks, which lines up with my brain so well. But I discovered that guy through videos, content he put on the internet, and
videos. Someone I used to watch all the time. Renato Laranja.
Uncle Henach.
Uncle Henach, you know. I mean, but I love that type of stuff, like the satirical stuff that you can start getting into with jiu-jitsu. Like, it's very cultural and like focused on jiu-jitsu, so someone who doesn't do jiu-jitsu probably won't find
get
it
it
as
or
funny.
be offended by it.
Yeah, exactly. So
that doesn't happen in any other martial art.
true.
Everyone takes themselves too seriously.
Very true.
You would never see that in another martial art where they're making jokes about themselves and their art and the culture of their art.
Like
the people
prominent
in it.
figures. Like,
And those prominent figures will come on the show and let the other guy make fun of them and play the game with him.
right. Because
That doesn't
now
happen anywhere else.
it's just an accepted character in the community. Like everyone knows.
Did you watch the recent EBI? They did the middleweight combat jiu-jitsu. The dude who won Thor, his nickname was Thor. Oh my god, he was nasty.
Yeah.
And he had a Hinach
Oh my gosh.
rash guard on. It was
I
great.
have one of the original fruits and vegetables rash guards.
Oh, perfect.
I love that thing. I have one of the patches too.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm saving it to put it on a new gi soon, so
Oh,
it'll be there.
very nice. All right. Cheney ever competes in the gi again?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I want to compete in the gi again. Every opportunity has been like, no gi, no gi, no gi. Which has been very popular this past couple years.
No gi's hot on the internets, man.
I know.
Fun
I'm
to
I'm
watch.
cool with no gi. Like, I've always trained both. But, like,
No.
I love both of them for their own respective reasons. Like,
Yeah. No. I mean, the internet is the reason I train no gi. That and you forced me to.
Yes.
But I respected you. I would have done it anyway. But I understood why because of Gary Tonin and John Danaher and the Footknocks. And and it has served me well.
Not even just so much to that, but like a long time ago, like people used to rely on the gi to do anything.
Don't
that
rely too
didn't
much.
have.
It had to be the gi.
Yeah, if it was like not a grip or something on the material, or like, you know, then it wasn't legit. Like, why?
Oh, there's so
many,
much crossover.
Yeah, there's so many like anatomically decent blocks and pulls and this and that like cross over so well. Like,
Yeah, there's so much crossover.
like, so now like that you're starting to see, like, now look at like Gordon Ryan. He went
Crossing
on
over the gi.
He went over with that, and he went over to IBJJF rule set. He won double gold no gi.
I didn't realize that was IBJJF rules.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, okay.
So then now he's transferring into the gi. So
I wonder if that was just fear of the footlock, even if it was IBJJF rules.
maybe he won all by subs, and
Yeah.
he didn't get disqualified.
People forget about the back taking and the choking of the Dan Airdeck squad.
I mean, that's where it starts.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
And that's where it starts and finishes a lot of the time.
Yeah, yeah.
They don't make it past that, and they
Or,
don't have to go to the feet a lot of times.
Or Nicky Ryan at Polaris. It was Polaris 7. That guillotine god, I think it was. That was ridiculous.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like, they're complete.
Very.
You know, they just really brought leg locks and like the system to the forefront.
Yeah. But they are very complete fighters. But we get to obsess over them because of news.
Yeah,
Follow
because
it now.
people give it attention.
Yeah.
They give themselves attention, and other people give them attention, and it's amplified on social media because you can give yourself attention.
Now that brings into if we're talking about Gordon Ryan, King Ryan. Do you think? I feel like that's a persona. I feel like he builds himself up as a joke. I think it started with a Burger King crowd.
Yeah.
But I also think it's just a way for him to get noticed. It's very much the Madonna rule. There's no such thing as bad publicity.
Yeah, you gotta have like somewhat of a shtick, like, you know.
Like we drink coffee and talk about jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like, you can make a podcast out of any like weird combo or like any type of persona. Like, look at Hanacho Oranja. He's not that person, but he has this entire.
I can't imagine
career.
him not being that person.
Exactly.
I don't know even who he is in
Maybe
real life.
maybe he gets
Maybe he
lost.
is that person.
Maybe
I
he's
don't know.
deep in a rabbit hole. I don't know.
He's method acted his way into purgatory.
Going
Yeah.
into Heath Ledger or something.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. Yeah, imagine maybe who knows? Like, people I imagine develop. Maybe he is just like that, or I don't know. Who knows? Like,
Yeah, I mean, you had a seminar with him.
yeah, but he was
cool.
A good teacher, straightforward, and that
Was he a
that.
good teacher?
He was decent. Yeah.
Okay, because a lot of times that's a hard combo to find. People who are very good at fighting, and especially current fighters who are also good teachers.
He knew his details. He knew his stuff for sure. Gary Tono was there as well, and he definitely knows his stuff.
Do you
Like,
have a pipe?
huh?
Do you have a pipe? Do you have a pipe? Oh,
Not that I noticed.
if you had a
anyway.
piping, like chocolate piping.
Not that I noticed anyway. But no, they're very concise details and stuff like that.
Are they? Okay.
Yeah, good teachers.
Did you feel like you had to be high level to understand it, though?
Gordon stuff, yes.
Okay.
Because that, well, I suppose that could.
Maybe that was geared toward, or?
Yeah, that or just like my background at the time, or like my thought process on it at the time.
Okay.
But maybe he was just, turning through what Danaher told him, and it was just like.
Maybe just going through the steps.
Which is fine.
That's where you start.
Yeah,
that's definitely where you start as a teacher.
And it still works. So
Yeah,
it's, I
so
can
you
run
fall
through the
back on that all the
steps
time, yeah.
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 But then, like, Gary was a little more flowy with, like, the method and, like, going
Well, he
into
went to
stuff.
school and stuff, right?
Yeah,
So
he's
he's
been
a little
teaching
more
for a
practice.
long time.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
mean-
no, it's definitely good.
I mean, for you, that was always one of my biggest jump points with you as a teacher. Of my criteria as teaching and just knowing anything is I go to the Einstein quote that if you don't know something unless you can explain it simply. And right off the bat, you took something like, I don't know, you explained you did your Trinity with the triangle armbar omoplata switch to the armbar. I guess it's quadrany now, but it's two arm bars that count as one.
Yeah. Goes
But
back to the
but that impressed the hell out of me because I knew how to do an arm bar. I knew a triangle choke. Actually, accidentally triangle choked someone at a judo tournament once. But
accidents happen.
yeah, it was funny. I lost, but hey,
Still a good
whatever.
day.
It was a good day. But yeah, they disqualified me.
Naturally.
But I knew that there was a lot of things about those techniques I didn't know. I knew my gaps, but I didn't know how to fill them in. And you just, real quickly, real simply, with a few fun swear words and a couple jokes, and just like broke it all down. And it stayed with me for years now. I mean, that was right when we first started.
Yeah.
And I can remember you've taught that lesson 3 times to me over the years. And then I literally regurgitated that to somebody. That my neighbor's brother who trained jiu-jitsu in California came over, didn't have anything to do with anybody, and like he came over here and we trained in my basement, and he was really new, so I taught him your exact lesson, and it blew his mind.
That's sweet.
And I was like, that's not me, dude. That's Mike. I just copied it off
cool.
of him. But that impressed the hell out of me, and that's why I stick with you. Like I may not train at your school anymore, but we're sitting here, we're friends, we train together.
Yeah.
Like, you are my most trusted teacher and advisor, especially as far as jiu-jitsu goes.
Yeah,
but that's really why, because you're so simple. You just break it all down.
I had years and years of complexity, language barriers, and whatever you want to call it, like, to dig through. I don't know, maybe my mentality or just how I compiled and then dug through it. I had to simplify it, you know.
Yeah.
Whether I think I simplified it for me, and then I started to just, when people would ask me questions, I'd be like, well, this is how I think about it, or, you know, this is, you know, I had to associate it with something else or something simple, or like, you know, because jiu-jitsu isn't that crazy when you start to break it down. It's wedges, levers, and, you know,
once you get into
simple
it,
tools,
yeah, once you get into it, it's actually not very complicated.
Yeah. So,
which is one of its beauties.
And that's the thing, people have the natural tendency to overcomplicate it. And don't get me wrong, it is complicated, and the devil is in the details, and it's important, but also don't fucking think about it too much. Just do it.
There's a lot of detail crossover, though.
Yeah.
There's a lot of positional crossover from move to move or position to position of certain things, you know, controlling the hips and how you press this thing down, or just keep pressure, like connection.
Mm-hmm.
Henry Aiken's videos, connection. And got me started asking you questions about connection, and then you actually explained it to me. And I was like, oh, they make as much of their body touch as much of your body as possible.
Yeah.
What?
I was fortunate to come up with a lot of good, like, pressure players and, like, just, you know, kind of like those type of soul-crushing type people. Like, I learned from, like, Arthur Ruff and, like, you know, people like that who just have kind of, like, notorious bigger games, you know, or heavier games.
Okay.
Where I naturally have, like, an acrobatic.
You have a real light game.
Yeah, I like to move and, like, kind of jam, but if I have to stick and hold you, I will. Like, you know, I can. But, like, the space, like, you listen to all of, like, like you're saying, like, little keywords that, you know, like Hickson says, Henry Aiken says, whomever, like, it's going to break down to how much space people are giving up in situations.
Yeah.
Arm bars happen because you gave up too much space this way or that way. This happens because you gave up too much space this way or that way. Like, nothing's perfect in jiu-jitsu. So there's a give and take, a yin and yang somewhere. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know, but when you explained connection to me, it filled the gap in my knowledge of understanding how to fill the gap.
Mm-hmm.
Create space, fill the space.
Yeah.
But your explanation of connection filled that in for me, because I knew it as a concept, but I was shaky on it.
Mm-hmm.
And
just see it in practice.
And then I started, but then not just to see it in practice, but then do it in practice. Then you point out, see where the gap was. You created it, you didn't fill it, or I created it, and then I filled it.
Or I filled it, That's the give and take position stuff in jiu-jitsu. Everyone's focused on the sub, and they should be, but
you gotta get there.
Getting there, yeah. Like, you gotta give some space, take some space. Like, if you're, you know, a lot of it can be reaction or, you know, situationally based. Like, you know, maybe their left arm's 2 inches longer on the, you know, side. Something stupid, but like, it ties back in.
It reminds me of the video I saw yesterday, Roy Dean. Roy Dean, who puts out some really cool content.
Love some Roy Dean.
Roy Dean's out there, man. But
he had someone who's on the forefront of, like, putting content out.
Oh, he was at the beginning. Becoming the Black Belt. He talked about it in his book.
The reason why is his video production quality was on point.
Because that's what he did for a living before he did jiu-jitsu. When he was still learning, he did video production. But he has a preview for his Blue Belt Requirements video series. It's awesome. And it's like 6 or 7 minutes long, and has cool music, and just, you know, Roy Dean talking like Roy Dean over it. But
it's the jam.
After training for a few years, watching that, I've appreciated it more, because he's like, it kind of goes into how there's no bad situations. And it's okay if you can't pass the guard, isolate a leg, or if someone passes your guard, just, you know, turn it into this. And he does it in a very eloquent way, and it sounds beautiful.
Yes.
But it's basically that. And it's very cool. But yeah, good video.
Yeah.
Quality.
Dean is a really good example of like someone who would like break it down. I don't know, someone who can make you feel comfortable in chaos. Like that's one of the different like coaching points, or like just someone as a teacher or whatever. Like everyone is, you know, enamored with fighting or whatever. I think to some extent.
I would hope.
I would hope. Doesn't mean everyone's going to do it, and then those who do it probably still are scared. But then they won't show it. So you have, as a teacher, you can bring them in and be like, okay, I realize that this is fucking nuts. Like,
scariness is cool.
Yeah,
it's
like,
okay.
It's a good motivator, maybe, or maybe it won't. Like, you
learn how to deal with it.
Jiu-Jitsu give you a way to deal with it, healthy, you know, in a healthy sense, and like, like it just, it isn't as like destructive as some, you know, other karate, taekwondo, whatever,
or boxing.
Right,
it's a good punch in the face.
Exactly.
Yeah. Wow, my nose is still, I think,
still
flatter.
Little
my big nose is a little flatter from the boxing.
Yeah, I've seen some people be able to smell around corners after.
Oh yeah.
Some rounds.
Yeah, Shogun. That second
his
fight
nose
with Dan Henderson
fucked
when he
up.
turned sideways. Shogun kept going too. That freaking guy. Oh my
He
god.
was back in the day of the original shoot box.
Well, I don't
Those
know.
are
I still
killers.
maintain that Shogun, if you can't step on your head, isn't as good. Look at his pride fights. Most of them are won by head stomp. But it's uncouth to elbow people. You can't elbow people in pride. That would be uncivilized. But step on their head.
That I don't. Yeah.
Never understood that.
Don't get that at all. But pride needs to come back.
Oh, pride will never come back. It can't happen in today's
But look what's
society.
coming back through. It's like style versus style, and like its own isolated style stuff.
I mean,
like jiu-jitsu and like karate combat. Like those
Karate
types of
Combat is on UFC Fight Pass.
things. Karate combat's dope.
It's cool, man. Yeah, they're about to have an event. And
I honestly, I could see that growing into, if not like merging into grappling events too, like having
That'd be
some,
so
some
cool.
karate fights and like,
yeah,
I mean, like,
have sort of some. I can see that turning into not kickboxing, but stand-up striking oriented toward a traditional martial artist. Kind of thing.
Yep.
And with some sort of like sub-only jiu-jitsu coming together, we should start.
Should look into that.
Yeah, I can see that happening. That would be really cool.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, you always want to be like, well, you don't just be like, being present and stuff is fine, but like, stuff runs out of date. You know, like, there's gonna be new tournaments, new this, new that. That you gotta start like looking for. Like, maybe you'll be the dude who comes up with the next tournament format. You can start small in the gym and then blow it up.
Yeah, mess around with it.
You never know.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Karate Combat is almost an extension of what Jiu-Jitsu has been doing with variant rule sets.
It is.
I think it really is. Yeah.
With like Boss Rootin on that front too. Like he's helping.
Oh yeah, I didn't realize Boss was.
He's behind that for sure.
So yeah, I mean Boss was in the forefront of everything.
Rightfully so.
Yeah, he's the man.
I would listen to that guy.
Boss is fun. Have you ever heard a Boss Rootin interview?
Oh yeah.
He's so hyper, man. Even
I
still.
love all of his stuff.
Yeah,
and
he's
even
so happy.
self-defense videos.
Yeah. His self-defense videos are hilarious.
His bar fighting self-defense.
I'm
sorry now. I have to break your leg.
Sorry about that, but it always backs up with a real life story too.
Yeah.
Like I was in this bar one time as a bouncer and did this thing, and it's fun. Watch.
I believe it.
Yeah, and you 100% believe it. Yeah, those are real.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, there's just so many awesome resources to draw from now. I mean, MMA, like you don't see people like post their training videos as much. Like jiu-jitsu,
No, you don't.
People be like, oh, I posted my training from today, and like maybe someone's grandma will be like, hey, that's cool, or like someone will be like, hey, that's a nice technique, you know, like MMA. No one posts that stuff up. It's like gotta be a secret.
It's all secretive. Yeah.
You can't run tapes on people or whatever.
Yeah, someone will study me.
So what? Go out there and fight.
Yeah, you gotta fight anyway.
Yeah.
Believe me, the guy you're fighting already studied you.
Yes.
Put it out there and win anyway. Whoa,
Fighting's cool.
fighting is cool. Yeah, go figure. But how much time you got?
Yeah. 5 minutes.
All right, 5 more minutes. What we got?
What we got? 5.
Yeah, this is the part where we slow down and run out. They're out of coffee.
Had a coffee, had a juice.
We drank all the coffee.
Start shouting out shameless plugs for stuff, I guess.
The sponsors we want.
That, or just plugging our Coffee Regular, GWACC,
Coffee Regular, GWACC,
Anti-Guard Play Initiative, you name it.
Do it, man.
All of it.
Yeah, At Home Badass. Check it out on
At Home
YouTube.
Badass,
Yeah.
Boom Boom Cheney on YouTube.
Yeah, man.
And the Instagrams, posting out
Instagram.
vids and stuff.
Yeah, man.
for
He's on the
techniques.
Instagram, not me. I'm too old. I don't do that.
I'll have to manage your Instagram page.
You'll have to, because
Yeah.
I don't do anything on my phone.
I respect that.
Yeah, my phone is for texting calls. That's about it. And apps, I have it for like my Target coupon app.
There's this like device that will act as like a. So you have your smartphone or whatever, but then you have this other device that will act strictly as call or text or something.
Oh.
It won't have any other functions of
You mean a
your
phone?
smartphone.
It's
You can
called a
still
flip
have your-
phone, right?
Yeah, right. Motorola Razr.
There it is.
I'll call that back in an instant.
Yeah.
That or like the old school Blackberries. Like,
Old school Blackberries, I have a whole new appreciation for.
dope.
Yeah, after I had the old school Galaxy with the slide out keyboard, physical keyboard, I was like,
I miss
Blackberry, not so
physical
bad.
keyboards. Like,
So much easier. As a blind guy who
Yeah.
relies on touch, like I can't see that well. I'm not actually blind, but I just don't see well. And I like touch. I like to feel things. You can't feel a touch screen, so I type wrong all the time. Yeah. Physical keyboard, I know
physical
where all the
keyboard, even if you're not looking at it, you could have like your
You know where
key
you're at.
points. Yeah,
Yeah, you know where you're at. It's
Freaking
still the
touchscreen.
keyboard. Yeah, you
Got
feel where all the keys are.
be calling grandma in Antigua. Who knows?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I called a friend of mine by accident the other day, just like that.
I called back a telemarketer on accident. Like,
Oops.
I don't want to do that.
I really want your product. Damn it.
Yeah, I need that.
All right, well.
Coffee regular,
Coffee regular. We're about done.
volume 2.
Tune in next time. It may or may not be on video, depending on if my computer comes back. But we'll see what happens.
Enjoy the audio.
All right, yeah.
Have a great
fun.
day.
Peace out, everybody.